Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Charlie.
an incarcerated individual at the Leon County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept charges and consent to this recorded call, press 1. To refuse, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hi,
Hey.
Hi, Charles.
Hey.
You know,
Hey, guys.
it's so weird. I saw you try twice. All it did is come up voicemail. It never rang.
Yeah.
It never did anything. It just kept. I think you had that with Brewer time too. It just was voicemail. So
Yeah,
I said, look,
one, two.
try again. I figured you would try again this, or you would try Dad's phone. But I figured eventually you'll get it. So
By the way,
never
I
think
spoke-
badly. Yeah, sorry.
No. I talked to Mike yesterday. Mike Ferrari.
Michael Mann. Oh, Mike Ferrari. Okay.
Yeah.
About the boat?
Yeah. So I told him that, you don't need to, it's not like you got to go do it tomorrow or anything.
Right.
But that is convenient.
Does he have it now, or is it at the house?
No, the house waiting for me to come home.
So you told him.
I told him to call Janice. Yeah, I told him to call Janice. And I told him to call Janice, when he gets, there's no rush. I mean, obviously the guy's working, he's got a business, he's got a wife. So I'll let you know in the next week or two. Just call her, then make arrangements. And pick it up. And he's like, well, you want me to sell it to you? What do you want to do? I like it. He's like, I'll keep it in the warehouse for you. And I said, well, I don't see myself using it anytime soon. But he's like, come on, you got to think positive. I'm like, well, if you need the space or something, let's sell it. But if not, he's like, I'll keep it there for you. If I need the space, I'll let you know. But if I don't need the space,
Okay.
we'll keep it in the warehouse.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right. So maybe that's mentally that helped out too. It was good.
Yeah, actually, I like that he's going to do that. That's good.
So he's like, no, if you want, I'll sell it. So he's like, I don't mind. I'll keep it. I'll turn it on free on a charger. No.
Good. Okay. I think that's good. I think it's nice that he's doing that, and I think it's good.
So.
Okay, so at least I know what's happening with that. Okay.
Yeah. Dad took all the handyman out of the house a long time ago, right?
Almost all. We have to go back. We have to open the space. Yeah. Almost all, honey. Everything that you were worried about.
Okay.
Everything that we have.
I mean, some stuff I want to go to Roman, but honestly, we'll, stuff now.
Right. And we know, and Wendy knows exactly who it should go to. And we've already discussed that with her. Actually, Dad did that with her today. So she saw it, she knows. So yes, it's for Romy.
Yeah. I want to put stuff in there, I think he has to go to college before he gets started things, and it's after that to do something.
All right, listen to me, Charlie. I know about the trust. Susan was here. Yes, was it yesterday? I lost track of the day. Yesterday, she was here. We went over everything with her. I know when he's supposed to get certain things. That doesn't mean that. I mean, there's enough there. He doesn't have to wait until that age. He wants pants. He needs clothes. He needs whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. He'll have I promise you, he will have everything that he needs. Okay? So he's not going to be, calling and saying, oh my God, I need this, I need that. It's not going to happen. She'll call us and we will take care of it. So do not worry about Roman. He'll be well cared for.
And then if anything ever happens to you, she'll look after this stuff for him.
And if anything happens to us, Michael Vince takes care of him. And because of the age, Michael and Dad are not kids. Because of that, anything with Michael, Wendy will look after it. And she's taking this very seriously, and she knows, and believe me, she will do everything right for them. She will. So we're not there. Dad and I are still here. So it's got a way to go, but yeah. But because of our ages, we ain't going to be here when Roman is older. So definitely the age that you set it up. So this way, Wendy will take care of him. Her nephew should take care of him. Don't have to even think twice about it. Trust me. Okay? He'll be fine.
I'd like me.
That's good that Mike is taking care of the post.
Yeah, that's nice that he's doing that.
Yeah,
really.
it's good.
Yeah.
Charlie, every day, this is just what you said. You're in shock. We all are. This is unexpected. And it's terrible. And you're in a shitty place right now. And you can't even get out of there. I mean, little by little, I don't know if it's going to be today or tomorrow. Dan said, I told you what he said. It could be 48 hours, it could be another day. I mean, he's trying, but he has no control. He could just talk to them and, make that effort. He can't do anything else. So,
Yeah.
Just think, okay, maybe I'll get out of here today or tomorrow, and things will start to just move a little bit. Just move the needle a little bit every day, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie, you still there?
Yeah.
He was making his will out on his kids for like 2 more years, 3 more years. This is like,
I know.
this is I think like what happens to the attitude is what happens to the attitude. So you deal with it.
You're Charlie. You're fuzzy. I don't know.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
I'm just saying, like, to win an appeal, to get a new trial, to get a change of venue of a new trial, to get all 12 people to agree with you, all the time that you're going to be prepping and being refreshed and going over everything, to something that I'm not going to be as fresh and as recent as it is now, to go ahead and like,
you say that now because you're not even 48 hours into this, but don't sell yourself short. You have other people that care about you. Things can happen, okay? So just
no, I get it. I just feel also like, listen, they come back on appeal on cases, but when it's the biggest case of people's career, like when you're a judge and it's the biggest case you've ever looked after, and you're a prosecutor and it's the biggest case you've ever done, like, you're not looking to make mistakes to get it back on appeal. You're looking to err in the direction that would make it impossible to come back on appeal. If you wanted to rule hard on certain things, you will solve. If there's less things that, you can't say, like if you make an improper ruling and it doesn't allow me to bring in certain evidence, well then that's a good reason to bring it back. But if you're ruling with the defendant, you can't say that you ruled against him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guy that I was friendly with here he got into a fight with someone and supposedly he took a Corningware dishware and broke it over the guy's head and then stole his car. And then he got like 15 years, right? Yeah. They actually charged him. They overcharged him. It should have just been like assault and battery. But they actually charged him with attempted murder. Mm-hmm. And so there's a fight. Anyway, that's his version of it. So his grandmother got an attorney. The attorney charged him $7,500 to do the case. And the attorney, like when he showed up in court, the defendant, the victim testified, right? His attorney kept calling the victim who was testifying by the wrong name. He didn't even pay attention to remember the guy's name who was the victim. So he got sentenced to 15 or 20 years. And he was there for 10 years. And he was able to get some part thrown out on appeal. And he was in prison for 10 years. And then he got 5 years probation. And then he was out. And then 4 months into being on probation, he tested positive for cocaine. And he said it was because his stepson had killed himself. He said he thought he should do it to split his wrist to get attention, but he actually used a straight barber, trimmer that you trim a beard with, an old-fashioned one, a big barber, split his wrist and died in the house. So he went off the deep end and was doing cocaine again, and he failed his drug test. They had him here in Leon County for a probation violation for 16 months for testing positive. He was here for 14 months, and then they sent him to a 6-month rehab program. But I think what it was they suspended the sentence for 15 years. So I got one probation violation. The prosecutor who was here before wanted to send him back to prison for 15 years for a probation violation. Because once you I had learned a lot about the law here. Once you violate your probation, they could send you back to the full amount of the sentence that was suspended. So he's out on probation, but he has that basically 15 years hanging over his head if he violates. If he violated, the guy was going to send him back for 15 years. It doesn't even go to the judge. It's already signed up with the courts. It's called a PRR, like probation, reoffender, something or other. When you violate probation, you automatically get 15 years. So that prosecutor left town after being here for 10 years. He got a new person on, and he was able to delay it long enough that they gave him just six months of drug rehab. So he got very, very lucky because the other prosecutor was the one who sent him away for 20 years, and he came back on appeal for ineffective counsel, and he was able to show that for an attempted murder case, a private attorney should be on an attempted murder case, a private attorney should be anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 to do a case like that. This is the amount of time that's involved, right? This guy charged him $7,500 total for the whole case. He's like, this guy didn't read anything in the file. I mean, that's including everything he had to do in the case, showing up, taking the case to court, taking the case to trial, $7,500. So he was able to show the court, look, the guy didn't do anything. Not only he was able to show the court that he his second counsel. Like, there's no way that you could do this case for $7,500. What he did was he took my money and just learned about the case. He probably spent 3 hours reading it and then showed up to court, and he was calling the victim the wrong name the whole time. So he actually got really lucky. He did bash the guy over the head with a 40 fish wire burst over his head. And he said, like, he was been found guilty with a really good attorney. So it's kind of ironic that because he had such a bad attorney, he got like part of his conviction thrown out at the counsel. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But they found me guilty on all 3 charges. I didn't even read that, but so it was done on purpose. So it was like, if you came back on 1, you got to come back on all 3. In other words, I mean, basically, he was, and you know, when Dan and I used to talk on the phone, and he'd be like, I see you coming home in the car with me. Like, I picture myself driving you home from Tallahassee. You know what, even though he'd say it and he believes it, you know how I tell you like what I felt in my gut? I never felt it. I was thought, man, that would be amazing. Play along with them, that'd be amazing. I never like.
Do you know how many times I said, oh, we're going to meet you here, we're going to meet you there. It says, Billy and I are walking out of that courthouse. I'm driving home. I want to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you say it was. It wasn't like, it wasn't something he said. He meant it.
Yeah. No, he knew. He said, look, we're going to have an answer for everything because you're innocent. Like, you're going to have a logical answer. If you don't, you can't have a logical answer for it. Why are you showing up at the scene of the crime? And then it makes it seem like you're coming up with an excuses. It really does. When I told someone that was she really there, I was like, yeah, that's really true. You know what they said? That's got to be like 1 in a million. I think it was family from Detroit. And I said, no, she was really there. He was like, no, you gotta be kidding me. That's like, the odds of that, he was always like an odd guy. You know who we're talking about, right? And he's like, you gotta be kidding me. That's like 1 in a million. Like that, you can't even imagine the odds. There you go. That happened. Right after she spoke to her mom and her brother that morning. Like the reason for her being on Trescott at 12:30 never sounded right to anyone. Except that's what happened. She was going to the liquor store. That she used to go from that house. And that was the last time she did. And I think it should have been brought out. I mean, I think I did bring it out, but didn't belabor it. When I went to dinner with her, they sat us at the bar. The drinks that they give you are those martinis, and they're really, really sweet, but they're loaded with alcohol. So she had 1 drink at the bar, then we sat down at the table, and had 1 drink with dinner. What I should have said is that those drinks are like 3 shots each one. So you have someone on empty stomach, who has like a 0 alcohol tolerance, We just had 2 sweet drinks, but it's the equivalent of 6 shots. They put almost 3 ounces of alcohol in each martini. That's like the equivalent of having 6 glasses of wine. On an empty stomach, on a girl who weighs 120 pounds, who has no alcohol tolerance. She doesn't drink ever. Last time she went to a liquor store was, she was married 3 or 4 years earlier. That's the one she went to. And she picked it up on the way to lunch. Like, that's the real reason. Nothing to see here. Which, the one time that she left that house, she drove by at 12:30 without having a reason to be at the house. Like, how many miles away is she? How many different ways to get there? They all need to be trespassed. You've done that down. You have to probably had jurors sitting back there discussing it, saying, do we believe that she just happened to be handed by there at 12:30 on the 18th on her own? Do we believe her? And if you don't believe her, you really don't need to listen to both of you. You don't need to listen to anything else. You just go, well, what happened that day got her to where she wanted to be. So, Connie even gives it more reason that she was in her best interest in driving by that house. She couldn't help herself. Sounds good.
The way she worded it.
She couldn't help herself. I mean, acting like Dan was being a straight shooter and being honest and like breaking it down and explaining the case to people and like doing like being a lawyer. She was like she became like the guy on the radio said, Ms. Kappelman made it all seem like a movie and made it real. It was just watching a 2-hour movie on the case.
He's right. He's right.
And that's true. She put a 2-hour movie together with autopsy photos 2 or 3 times. And it was basically, do you believe Wendy? Do you think she had a motive? Do you think that she wanted to move to South Florida? Here's the family's emails. Relocation is #1 priority. As soon as she drove down Prescott and she saw what happened, her #1 priority, #1 family's priority, you see it in her writing, happened. What a coincidence. Like, you lay it out. You gotta say, lay it out, and you go to the fountain of heaven. You know, if Wendy fought her on the relocation thing, she would have seemed like a liar, but it wasn't that important. So then Wendy really, at that point, when they realized she was going to be in Tallahassee a long time, it wasn't that big of a deal. So Wendy kind of like, they made it seem like Wendy didn't care that much. Well, back at was on that. She wants you to believe that she doesn't care about staying in Tallahassee. Well, that's why you're writing a book and you're talking about your motive. Believe it. You had no intention of wanting to stay there. You felt trapped. You know, the email says relocation. So your order, #1 priority. But the kid does not need uniforms. Yeah. Once she drove down Prescott that day, she knew she was out of there. And 2 days later, she was out of there. And she changed the kid's name. And she, didn't let the grandparents see the kid. I mean, they make all those facts gets spun, not reality, but evil. They make you sound sick and evil. And then once they make you sound sick and evil, you can't sound like somebody that's like, oh, I didn't really care if I was making a life of myself in Tallahassee. No, not a life you wanted, not a life you got. Once you could just have leave and no one stopping you, and you left within 48 hours, did you? Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think, Charlie, that I was just going to say it's off topics, but not. Sometimes I think you have like ESP. So, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, you said something to us about U.S. Legal and Ramsey. And
Right.
So at 3:05, what time is it? 3:10. So five minutes ago, I see an email from Alex.
Oh,
It
nice.
seems that, yeah, because Dad has been digging into this since last year, and then we finally found out that the check was mailed, even though we had moved. It was mailed to the Icon, and remember Gene at the front desk?
Right.
He signed for it. We found that. I mean, we were literally like little investigators here. So he
Right.
got that information, and then it took. Dad went to Wells Fargo. He went to different people there. Then he finally had to go to the legal department. A whole to-do, and then the end result is that the only person at that point who could pick it up was Alex or you.
Yeah, no, what it is, I had a power of attorney that they
Right.
would not
They
accept.
wouldn't accept it. So in any case,
Alex was
he
so
just
cool.
took a picture of it. He said, I got it. Let me know the address to send it. So,
That's the $5,000 check.
Yeah.
yep, a little over 5.
Yeah.
That was what we were
Gotta
doing.
read once.
But the two big things for Ryan are going to be, he was writing checks to people that don't exist in real life. So I was writing checks to like Kyle Kalinowski and Nicholas Milano. And then he told me I was funding cases that were the permits of Nicholas Milano. Except he was taking those checks and he had someone on the inside of the bank or go to a check cashing store and then cashing it. And then when I closed the company and I wanted to find out what's going on with Nicholas Milano's case, he said, the client is in jail. He sent me go back, the client was in jail. Henry Jones, the client is incarcerated. But what he was doing was I was lending to people that don't exist in the real world, and then he was able to cash those checks somehow, and then he was just going to lie to me and tell me the cases went belly up, and he was telling me that there were cases with the Burnhams. So that was the institution, that was the fraud. Okay. Then the embezzlement was when I was lending to good cases, he was having the Burnhams write the check to him personally. So if I lent $5,000 and the case settled for a lot of money, go back $14,000, right? What he was doing was he had the Bermans write him a check for $1,000. So I'm lending $5, I'm due back $14, case settles, write a check to Ryan for $1. And then he was cutting the check.
The rest.
What?
And the Bermans stole the rest.
Well, and their client, because they were able to get their client, wouldn't it be great if you get a $5,000 loan and then 3 years later pay back $1,000? That's got to be like the best loan business in the world,
right?
So why would the Bermans think that I'm taking back less? So they're signing contracts where they screwed up themselves. They signed a contract with U.S. Legal Funding, telling U.S. Legal Funding that we had a lien on the case. So when the case settles and the funds are distributed, I have to get paid back. So I put $5,000 down, I'm getting $14,000 back. Okay. Well, the case settles. They pay $1,000 to Ryan Fitzpatrick. And then when I ask him what's going on with the case, he tells me it's still in litigation. I go, okay, still litigation. No, the case has been settled and Ryan's been paid. So what the Bermans did was over 13 checks, they've taken $63,000. But the total, so they paid Ryan personally $63,000 over 13 checks. But what was actually real amount that was owed was like $400,000 or $500,000. So he took pennies on the dollar of what was owed on the loan amount, just like I was owed 14 and he got paid 1. I mean, I was probably owed $400,000 or $500,000 with the outstanding balance. But they paid less than principal on the loans and they paid it to Ryan. So they loved him. What a great deal. And he loved them because it's getting free money. And their clients are loving their lawyers because they're borrowing $5,000 and paying that one from the trust account.
Right.
And then meanwhile, they're just hoping I go to jail. I mean, it was the only thing I could have done is go call my friends and say, what the hell's Ryan doing? Because he told everyone I stabbed him in the back. The victims, maybe Aaron's victim, the Italian victim, you know, would show up and be like, oh, man, I love Charlie so much, but he wouldn't believe what he did the other day. And then you tell him what I said, and then like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't say anything. We're going through a hard time. You know what? It's going to be ever time what I told him. He said, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in this. So what happened is I would go to Aaron and be like, Aaron, is Ryan doing something? Like, he was talking about me? Like, you know, he was yelled at me. He's like, stop with this Ryan. It's got nothing to do with Ryan. Like, of course, he couldn't tell me. Yeah, my wife ate him because Ryan poured poison in her ear. The reason I'm pissed at you is because of the things you said about my kid, because Ryan told me. But here I am asking him, so maybe I have a guilty conscience, and I'm like, oh, I know I said something to Darren about Darren's kids to Ryan. So, but you think Darren wants to get involved? He's like, listen, he's smart. He doesn't get involved in other people's shit. He's like, I got my own life to live. I don't get involved in other people's shit. I got my own stuff. Like, that's his attitude of life. Like, it's a smart attitude. Well, like, I'm like, if I say something to you, like, I knew it had to be him. But Ryan was playing it like he cared about me so much. You think Garrett's going to go to permanent source Ryan? I'll tell me like where I heard what you said. No, of course not. Here's the question: why would Ryan lie? He's been running 25 years. Why would Ryan lie? And this is Darren because he's stealing my money and he needs you to hate me. But I can't go to the police and I can't sue him. So what would I do? Go to my friend Darren. What friend? The ones that hate you? Like, and I knew it. I knew that in 2017. The problem was when I was asking my friends, was Ryan behind this? Everybody didn't want to get involved. No one wanted to say, yeah, he told us, but he also told us not to say anything to you. Like, he made us a promise. He poured the poison and then acted like your friend. So who wants to get involved in that shit? So but I knew I had a feeling the 17 was asking it. I knew that's what it had to be. But he wouldn't even tell me it was that. I could say Herman Ryan, and it would be in the middle of a mess. So it was like, and all the ways, Ryan was always super nice. He'd be nicer than everybody else because he was turning everybody else against me.
He was making out like, well, shouldn't say like a bandit. He was a bandit. He was a bandit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. You know, and then when I told him he had to pay the money back, that's when he threatened me to go to the police. I'll tell the FBI everything I know. Yeah. You know, and then next thing I know, I'm sitting there in the courtroom and Captain was telling everybody, even if it's best friend Ryan, the taxes said, the defendant said you can get away with murder and keep your mouth shut. Ooh.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
what a liar. What a liar.
If you're a liar, and stealing and posting shit online and like, but hey, maybe I said that to him. I mean, like, you know, like, and then we had a falling out, and now, like, but it doesn't matter. She's still bringing that in the closing. I'm sitting in the closing with my wife. Well, she's bringing up the guy who stole my money, got rid of my friends, and now he's a witness to what? A witness to nothing. But it just shows one more person. I mean, she was talking about Ryan, even his own sister. Even his own sister asked about this. Like, it's almost like she started making it seem like Wendy was saying the whole thing was like the way she framed it and the way she threw it out there. She threw it out like, look, even his own sister's throwing him underneath the bus. Like his best friend, his sister. You know, like it's just adding it on. But it's like they kind of like, if you're smart, you realize it defeats your theory if you're like, well, if she knew she had to live with him, and that's why she was showing up there. So why would she be throwing him under the bus 10 minutes later? But people can't think that. Like if you really word it and they're in cahoots, why would she be like just throwing names out when she goes to the police and she's freaking out? This is weren't in cahoots. But it's like, and one time the story looks good when I can throw the boss at her. One time it looks good when I can throw Wendy underneath the boss. Like, I just, when Dan told me we're coming home in a car together, I said to him, that would be awesome. That would be the happiest day of my life. No, it's going to happen. You're going to be playing with Roman. You're going to be good. But like, Dan, like, but you know when someone says something and you're just like, from your mouth to God's ear, I'm like, that would be great. But like, I'm not like, the main thing I said, like, I didn't feel it in my bones. Like, I really didn't. I hope, but I wasn't like, but I didn't feel it in my bones the way I felt like what it would just be like in Tallahassee. That I felt in my bones. That I felt in my gut. This was like just hearing talk and wishful thinking, and like hoping that what he's saying is true and accurate. I mean, they did their opening in this.
No, just take 1 second. Take that off. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No, they did the opening in this. You okay?
Okay. I'm good.
No, they did the opening in this case. Dan looked at me. It was like a blue, like a felt tip marker, like not a marker, but not a pen, like kind of in between. And not felt tip, but like almost like a highlighter kind of tip, whatever. They write in blue on a sticky pad. He writes, "We will win." Like he was so confident in that room. Like I was so confident. Like I literally like.
He knew what he was talking about. This is insanity. What happened?
Like it was, but it's like if the case was going bad, I wouldn't be this fucked up. I would be like, okay, like they came out with this or that or the other. Like all the stuff that they had is all the stuff that in 2016 I knew they had, and that I was innocent. And they weren't going to have proof to show I did something I didn't do. Like that's it. Like I knew that. Like it was later that I found out that Wendy was actually trying to drive down the Trescott at 12:30 that day. But I know there were 4 explanations. No, I didn't know until years later. I'm like, why are they going so hard after Wendy? Like, it makes like the best. You were someone that she showed up at the crime scene, like right after it happened. And I'm like, no, I heard that, but like, it was somebody else in trial who had a similar car. The person was like, no, she actually really did it. She showed up. Within an hour, she helped herself. The little author couldn't help herself. Like, holy shit. Guess what? If you're a cop, you know what you're asking? Why the fuck are you driving down Trescott when you live 10 miles away? There's a liquor store. There's 5 other liquor stores close to your house. you want to go to this one, this is not the direct route to this one. We're still not taking a look. Taking an out of the way route to a liquor store that's 3 times longer than all the other ones. The way I'm used to going. Okay, your husband just got shot and now you just bought a bottle of Bull Bourbon. 20 minutes after driving by the crime scene.
I want to tell you something. She didn't have the proof on that one. She would have been arrested. That's just like
She would have been. Yeah. So let me get this straight. You drive 10 miles out of your way, past your husband's house, the crime scene chases up, he's shot in the head. You don't panic. You drive straight to a liquor store and you buy a bottle of Bull Bourbon. I mean, I know it's pronounced Bullet, it's French or whatever, but everyone says Bull Bourbon for that evening to celebrate with your friends. Had her friend just told her on the phone, oh, get some Bull Bourbon, and she just wrote it on a sheet of paper and then brought the paper with her and then bought it. I remember I bring it. What about some alcohol? Could have been bomb. I don't know, like, who pays attention to that? Like, I have never been 47 years, if not 47, 47 years been told to buy Bull Bourbon from someone's house that night. Yeah. Have you? Nope. Right? Dad? Nope. So that's only, 180 years of experience. None of us have ever had that request. In 180, Dad's almost 80 years, 70, 150. And then, so what, 190 years, 195 years of living on Earth between the three of us? No one's ever asked us to buy a bottle of Bull Bourbon for that night, for a night. And as soon as you drive by your Trescott Lane, it's blocked off, you go pick yourself up a bottle of Bull Bourbon and celebrate that night. And this is not your neighborhood. We've already belabored all the reasons why it makes no sense that you're driving down that street today. Like, it just starts falling on deaf ears. And I'm telling you, it's that simple. Use your common sense.
you just
What?
falling on deaf ears.
Yeah. But look at what they did. That's why they started with that. Because what happened to Trescott? They allowed relocation. What's the one thing that the emails talk about that's more important than anything? Relocation. Like, so it all fits together. Like, if she can't, her explanation kind of sucks. Why should I want to drive down Trescott at that time? I mean, a better explanation is she couldn't help herself. And once you buy that, everything else just looks like a rich, crazy family who wanted relocation, who did this, and she's a part of it, and that's why she's driving down the scene. Make sure it was done. Like, did you notice, like, they were, like, backtracking back and forth, and then they finally really backed off of Wendy because they realized, like, her cell tower showed that she was still at 5 miles away at 12:30 when Katie said, oh, I know it was already done.
Right.
So if Wendy was 5 miles away, how could she be calling and saying, I've already called and said that? If she was 5 miles away, it didn't fit their story. So they kind of backed off of the time stamping on that. Everything else is like, well, if the shoe fits, like you're the one that benefits and you're the one that's showing up. Like, holy shit. Like, that's a coincidence? I mean, you know what I think? I think no one hears that in their ears, especially a mailman. I should have thought of that too. Like, a mailman just lives on routes and knows streets and just knows how many different ways you can get to a place from point A to point B. Like, to say that you had to go down Trescott would make it, I should have thought about that a little bit when we looked at it. So sergeant who was the black sergeant who was the mailman come on. But I should have thought of that and been like, a mailman knows how many routes there are to get to someplace. So the probability factor starts thinking a whole lot more when you said I had to take that route.
Yeah.
Like, that route at that time on that day, just after your TV dad left. Like, I honestly think after that, these people thought like, hey, we're smarter than they are. We're not going to buy their shit. We can see the basics. We got common sense. Chances of that happening are 1/10. Now you got somebody who's looking at everything, saying it's a 1 in 10,000, like that they're actually telling the fucking truth. Now win me over with some overwhelming facts to prove your innocence. Overwhelming.
I'm supposed to have to prove it.
How can you prove you weren't a part of it? How can you prove you weren't a part of something that you weren't a part of? You know what I mean? That would be like someone pointing the finger at you and pointing the finger at Wendy. You'd be like, look, how do I prove I wasn't part of something I wasn't part of? How does the person's going to sit there and point fingers now? Like, that's why I felt on deaf ears. That's why I was open with that, and that's why I was closed with that. His sweetheart shows up at the crime scene. That street, on that time, on that day. That smells like shit. Here's my
It sounds terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I'm involved in the case. See, even listen, I said I'm involved. Like, I'm involved, but I'm not involved. Oh, he said he's involved. Like, understand the context of what I'm saying is, like, I'm involved and I look at it in the case. And I'm like,
it looks crazy.
It looks, the ex-wife goes out of her way to drive by the murder scene right after hitting and coming to her husband, ex-husband. After she talks to her mother or brother.
Yeah.
Like, you just painted the picture of the definition of conspiracy. You hear that, and everyone wants to know, why haven't they been arrested? You painted the picture. The problem is, it's on a false premise. At first, I didn't even think she was there. I thought it was bullshit. But she actually was there.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
When I heard that officer said, "Oh, this was a minivan that looked like, my wife's minivan, that's a Honda Odyssey, that's burgundy, and it fit the description of the ex-wife," I'm thinking, like, this guy's such an asshole. He's making this shit up. Like, there's tons of these out here. Wendy wasn't there. He wasn't. Wendy was there. The ex-wife showed up. I mean, if I'm sitting at a bar and someone tells me a story with those couple facts, mind you, like, then you throw in the motive, the relocation that you keep bringing up.
Right.
And then you throw in the crazy emails. Say, oh, these people are crazy. Take them out of context, they're crazy. And you tell me how she benefits, and she's the one showing up. Like, if I was sitting at a bar and someone's like, she has nothing to do with it, you know what I would say? Get the hell out of here. Like, I can put two and two together. Like, you know what? What would you say if someone said that to you?
The thing is, I get it, and you're 100% right, and it all sounds like it's piling on, except she really wasn't on trial there. You were. And they spent more time on her.
And relocation and this and that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If she was a part of it, then I had to get some. And if you sit there, go over all that stuff that I just belabored, and I said, and you said no, I can add 2 plus 2. That sounds very, 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 very suspicious. And you can get in your head that this girl had to be aware of what's about to transpire. It's not it's a small step to go convict. A small step. Because look at the connection. Look at who I know. You know? Look at who my ex-girlfriend was. Okay. And then look who was there. And look who was showing up. So here's the thing. If you could make it seem like when she's lying about the relocation, if she's lying about her feelings about Tallahassee, if all she wants to do is move, and all that gets accomplished, and then she couldn't help herself but show up at the crime scene, if you can prove that, you can convict her. If you could have someone thinking she had to have advanced knowledge that she was there, then you've got to think you're getting in the palm of your hand, and everything else is just like everything else. Like all I'm saying is that's like the foundation of the 1 in 10,000. Was a friend from Detroit says that's 1 in a million. Are you kidding me? That's like 1 in a million. You could have a better chance of winning the lotto than having that happen. So if you could convince them that, hey, it's not a 1 in 10,000 or a 1 million occurrence, then you got to say guilty almost. Like she doesn't show up there. She doesn't know about it. If she knows about it, who does she know about it from? Who does this all about? The person showing up, the person wanting to leave, the person who lied about how much she liked. I feel like you read the emails. They want to get the hell out of here. This is a small stop on the way to civilization. Wasn't that what this was? Your husband worked at Florida State University. He worked at Florida State University. And he put the word north in there. You know, the name of the city was fucking identical to Tallahassee. Like 2 letters off. I don't remember the name of it, but Hiawassee.
Hiawassee.
So the fictional town was Hiawassee. Yeah, Hiawassee.
It doesn't.
What was it?
Hiawassee.
Hiawassee. I mean, it sounds very similar. Her husband was a professor. She had 2 kids, did immigration. Like it's like you writing a story about a husband who's a doctor and you're a school teacher and someone's got 3 kids and 2 boys and a girl. Like they're from New York. They moved to South Florida, to the South. But you know what I mean? It would be like, okay, you're getting this from somewhere. I mean, it got dumbed down to the point that once you had that as a foundation, and everything else became like what you wanted to believe worship. That's why they spent so much time on relocation and her route that day and everything else. Because That's an unbelievable story in itself. But now you want me to go even more unbelievable. I mean, they put her on trial there.
I know they did.
You know, listen, there's a reason why they were putting a picture of her out having drank at the Katie on the beach. You know, it was showing the connections. Like, it was showing the familiarity. It was putting the faces together of the players. Like, that was a good picture of Dave Warren, actually. And Pierre. You saw that picture they put up with me?
No. Are you talking about the driver's license photo?
No, they put a picture of me up on the thing there with Katie when I went to the Keys.
Oh, that one.
Second floor. Yeah. That's what I looked like back then. They took a photo that was my updated driver's license photo that I was updated from 2019. This happened in 14. Why is a picture of what I look like in 14?
Because that makes you look
Clean.
very clean.
Much more clean cut and short hair.
Right.
Like, much more clean cut. And that's what I look like. It's like, that picture of us is 14. That's what I look like at 14. Like, no beard, shorter hair. But the one at 18 makes you
Why
look.
would they show that? Why would they show that? That would look good.
Yeah, and when at 18, I look off. But if you're going to talk about 14, why don't you show what I look like in 14? You know, like.
Because they're trying to paint a picture. That's why they're trying to paint a picture. They don't care if it's true or it's not true. They're trying to paint a picture. That's exactly what.
I'm sorry. I know I've been talking forever. I just.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm just sitting here, like literally all my heart's ripped out. What? Like I'm still in shock. I go from shock to sadness. Like shock and sadness. Yeah. Like it's believe. Like
My dad and I feel not plausibly yet. Can't.
Like when I'm talking to you and just talking about things that's normal. When I'm not talking, I like head in other places and I fucking.
Yeah. I know, but be careful because at some point nobody came today, which I'm really pissed about. But they didn't come.
Well,
To yourself, it's chief.
no, the chief was supposed to come today. I'm supposed to come tomorrow. And it's like I get like numb in my hands, my arms, like I get cold, numb waves. It literally feels like. Honestly, it feels like the heart has been ripped out.
I know how you feel. I know. Trust me, I know.
I know it's affecting you guys. I know it's affecting Wendy. I feel terrible. I wanted to do so much stuff with that. Like, literally,
I know.
It kills me not being able to be doing stuff with him over the last year. Like, he's actually becoming like a cool teenager. Like, I was getting to the point where I was thinking maybe I won't. Like I'll go to Asia for a few months, hang out, and decompress, and maybe I'll come back to the farm and be like the life there if I can. I'll take sort of quiet down for a little while and go back to my home.
I know what you wanted, and I know you were going to take time, and you were going to think about how to do it, how much time.
I take like 3 months off, and February I was going to go out there with February I was going to talk to Scott, who's a new place in Vietnam, go to Costa Louis, fly back and forth. Like everything I've worked with my whole life, like all I ever fucking did is work, to be honest with you. Like, so I was 29, I did a karaoke school. I got out, I worked 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And then I made it online. And I had people steal from me. And I lived a very low-key lifestyle. Really did. I mean, even when I bought a limo, I paid $7,500 and paid for half of it.
I know.
So, you know, like, I didn't really spend money on things. I mean, the one thing I treated myself with is that I bought that car. I was 5 years old. And 5 years old when I bought it, 5.5 years old. That was the only item. That was literally one item. Like, outside of that, like, I bought a boat for $8,000. You know, I had other boats that I bought and sold, but I never.
I know. You never treated yourself.
I never treated myself. I never fucking treated myself. Still have the same 2 or 3 pairs of jeans, the same 1 pair of dress shoes. Like, all I fucking did was work. Work. Help everybody else out along the way. And like, and now it's like, just even thinking about like making the trust for Roman and like him growing up without me is the one thing that fucking killed me. How do you even explain to you? I mean, being a parent, like, having to want to do all these things with them, and like, I'm going to be the kind of parent that like, you know, listen, I'm 47, I've waited so long to have a kid, like, I can finally be financially set, and like, be that fun dad that's not working all the time, and do all kinds of great stuff with him, and like, he's going to be my twin. But now fucking sitting here making up a will. I mean, it's going to be fucking cool. Like, every time I talk to him on the phone, it's hard. What it happened, it can happen to hear his voice, but it fucking hurts twice as bad. It hurts twice as bad talking to him. I mean, like, oh, I'm happy that the kid doesn't know, but he's not going to remember me outside of pictures of the videos. Trust me, one of the second out of it, he's more impressed than I look like. Oh, you will have no memory of me outside of pictures and videos in the outside world.
You know what, Charlie? This is just why you need to just have hope, think that we are trying to do something, and just hang in there, because that's all upsetting stuff. It's awful, and there are opportunities. So we've got to follow through with them, and it's take some time. You're right. But just don't, you know.
I'm gonna have hope. Like, Dan flat out told me, like, it's like a year and a half, 2 years for me to heal. You know, I mean, I've already been here for over a year and a half. That's just for like the process to get going. It's like, Jesus, I wish I could say I had effective counsel, or I had a shitty judge, or I had like, no. Said, holy shit, like I was on cloud 9 a week ago. I came off of there, Dan was like showing me text messages that people were sending him. Like, I wasn't giving away my stuff. I gave away my socks. I gave away my other long-sleeve shirt that I have. I got one that's that hole in the elbow. Like, I literally was like, this is happening. Like, holy shit, like, we're way ahead. No. These people had deaf ears at the time when he showed up at the car scene. You know, you can only tell one crazy story at a time for people to stop saying you got lots of stories. She's got common sense on her side. She couldn't help herself. Like, I mean, she even said Katie came in here and lied.
Yes, she was.
No, Catherine even admitted to that. Like, yeah,
Yes,
look at everything else.
she twisted and turned all over the place, so she has no option.
Yes, but look at everything else. Well, everything else is all the some crazy shit that happened. It doesn't mean it didn't. It was just it was hard to believe it happened. And if you think that Wendy showed up because she knew that you guys did it, that was the take-home lesson.
Yeah.
And I literally, like, it's crazy. When Enzo died, I felt like that was a sign of things. I know you think I'm superstitious and I am certain things, but if you look at when and how and everything else around it, that was a sign of God. I even said it like it's a sign of that shit.
You know what? I think we're all a little superstitious.
Yeah, but that's crazy. How about all the stuff around you?
There's no understanding it, honestly. I think you didn't have a chance in hell up there.
No, there was
No matter how good everybody was, and they were beyond good. You didn't have a chance.
No, the answer was, like, oh, it depends on what jury you pick. Listen, I had Josh fucking Lubin taking the jury with his two associates who do this professionally come down. They had a whole, you see the whole diagram they made up with lists on everybody, and like, they really dug into these people. They knew who we had. They knew who we had to get rid of. Like, with all that, you couldn't get one. Dan was worried about having one that was both guilty and would be hung. That's what his answer to me was.
Right.
He was thinking, listen, I'm thinking, because usually when I'm on a trial, I'm always hoping that we have one that's going to hang the trial. He goes, in this case, he goes, we should win. He goes, I'm worried about getting somebody on this jury that's going to think guilty when the other 11 are finding innocent, and then we hang that way. He's like, I'm worried about an 11-1 hang, not a 1 to 11 hang. Like, that was his thought. And then when everything was coming in, he said, like, when everything's coming in, you got the testimony coming in from everybody. You got everything coming in. Like, it's looking good. Like he said to me, he said, if someone would have told me, well, this was like a Friday. He said, if someone would have told me 2 weeks ago, this is where we would be at this point in the trial with everything coming in, because I would have said ecstatic. I would have said ecstatic.
You know, a man based his reputation on this case, Charlie. Believe me. He didn't leave a stone unturned.
He spent all his time, like he would be on a bicycle, he'd be listening to podcasts. He would be talking to the bicycle group about it. He was talking to guys who played tennis, they're trying to get feels for like what kind of jurors would be good for us. He was talking to old people. He would go to a family dinner and say, okay, let me tell you about this case I'm working on, and tell people the facts and see how it resonates with them and see what people think and like, you know, and like present the argument, see what people think. It wasn't that. They were overwhelmed by the stakes, dumbing it down and a couple crazy facts, and then you have deaf ears. Because, holy shit, I've heard for the last 6 months he was worried about having one juror that makes it hang. I was hoping to have one juror to make it hang, but here's the problem, Mom. You need 12 to walk out of this place. And I should have not smoked so much weed, thought through it, and said to myself, Charlie, you go, you got 12 that you need to say to let you go. Like that's what the guard said to me when I was downstairs. You need all 12 to agree. You're all 12 innocent or all 12 guilty. And then when he said that to me, I was thinking to myself, I was looking at this face because I walked in today, recording statements, and one of them looked me in the face. And I was thinking, like, that I was not getting all 12 of those people to agree. So if all 12 will agree, you're going to have to run it back again with 100. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. So even if you got one at 12, you know what that means? You're doing it again. But at least it's like, all right, we're still fighting. We're still in this. Like, don't give up hope. We got a trial coming up. It's like it never even happened. We're going at it again. Come on. Don't lose your focus. Like, if you know how well I sell to myself with all my food, sell to myself, like, and I'm pushing on, like, not in prison where I'm worried, like, I'm going to go through my shit, you know, or like, it's not like I'm going to have a quiet place to maybe study and use my attorney all the time and, like, you know, go through all this stuff. I mean, I had my A game. You know, I looked my A game. I used to look the same after I go in. I'm not going to be, you know, it's like I just, the disheartening part of it all is that with everything that was done, not one person out of 12.
Was Dan heading back today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't called him on the phone with you all day pretty much. I just am like, you know, so to think like, okay, you're going to get the appeal, you're going to win the appeal, you're going to get a new trial, you're going to get a change of venue with a new trial. Like, do you see the surface that was just there now? It'll be there, but more when you get a new trial.
Not a change in venue, Sean. It won't be the same. It won't be the same. Will there be media? Of course. It won't be the same.
Maybe we will get a change in venue. You know, I mean, but like, listen, if these people flat out told the judge, like, I can be fair, I can, like Dan said, because I don't think the jurors were honest with us when they sat down. Like, we got rid of the ones that were honest. Listen, you only know what someone tells you. You know, just say they don't know about the case, but they don't know about the case, again. I mean, if they sure wanted to be buddies with each other and give each other their cell phone numbers after the case, they must realize it's a high-profile case. Is that why they wanted to get on? I can't imagine jurors wanting to, like, keep in contact with other jurors. Like, if you have a friend, you'll have to put a number, but, like, have a group chat. They know what this entails. They were part of something big in Tallahassee. They have a story to tell. All the jurors that are on national TV now, talking about their story, their experience. And at this moment, it's exactly what I thought it would be. It's exactly, you ever feel something in your bones? Like, I know that sounds crazy when I'm talking.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever felt that? Like,
Yeah,
have a feeling in your, like you have a feeling in your bones, like I could feel it in my bones. Like I felt it in my gut. Like this is when Christy Crawford was visiting Miami and she was telling me about what a big deal it is up in Tallahassee. And took pictures with me and like her friends up in Tallahassee. And I was like just in a weird vibe. She's around people with money, and her dad ran for governor, and like she's around the in circle of people. Like for her to be making such a big deal about this, telling me how big it is, makes me sick. Because as she spoke, it made me feel like she's making such a big deal about it. Like this is the biggest thing up there. So like when we finally get an Adelson up there, my bones, I was thinking like, I won't stand a chance in hell. I won't stand a chance in hell. And these people are not going to stop. They're going to be like a dog going after a bone. And that's what it's going to be. Like this is crazy. Like what am I hanging around for? And I was like, what am I, this is, I literally felt like I was looking at it. I mean, look, I went so far that time to say, look, well, who's going to end up in North Carolina? Like, remember we're walking up there, let me paint the picture for you of what it's going to look like. And this wasn't, that was when you and Dad came over to the house that night to the generator company. Do you remember? Like, and then we walked, and then we stopped halfway between my house and the farm store, and I was in the middle of the street, and I was like, let me lay down because we're back what I see transpire. This is exactly how it's going to go down. I go in there and to top it off, going to be in North Carolina. And he said, no. 6-7 months, like, and then I came in here, it was thinking 6-7 months, and then somehow, do you remember when I first came in and you were like, Marcus couldn't try the case until February? You were thinking? And we were like, God, that's
what he said is, I can fit you in April of 23. I can fit you in.
Yeah. Right. No, he was in April of 23. He went to ended up going to trial on that federal case up here and won.
I know, Charles. At the time, that was the day.
Yeah.
That was the day.
Yeah. It was like April. I'm like, oh my God. Like, well, April turned into October of 23. Real quick. It's like, I remember it was February. Like February, they said, okay, what's going on? And I remember sitting there in February or July, and it was like, okay, so we go on, and we're gonna go October 23rd, and I was like, holy shit, it's 240 days, over 240 fucking days, and I was like, literally counting down long. I probably had a countdown, solid countdown from like around 180, counting the days. waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:45 in the morning. Okay, 179 days left of the shit. I remember when I was at 126 days. Every day, like, had knuckles was as bad outside. I'd see him like 125 days. I'd see him like hit knuckles and 124 days. And he's like, man, I can't get it to 100. Then when we got to 100, I'm like, okay, once they get to 100, break 100, I'm going to feel good. 90, I'm going to feel great. 60 is going to feel real. 30 is going to be like game on, like we had a game case coming up on trial. Like, I was like so fucking pumped. I didn't stand a fucking chance on. This was not, oh, this jury was bad. I didn't stand a fucking chance with a prosecutor that's gonna sit there with Lummies, where I was in the liquor store, all the other shit, and the TV joke. They're gonna sit there and it's death years. I couldn't get 1 or 12 to be good. Like, I could not get 1 out of 12.
I don't think it matters what was going on with Charlie. I think they
I think the case was decided, actually, if it was closed. I think the conversation was like, I made everybody sick. The purpose was putting autopsies, the same autopsy go to open lives, and leaving it up there while she spoke. I'm sure that didn't make people, like, I'm sure the jury and people I understand why. But like, and how could that be after the cross-examination of me on Friday, on Thursday? Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, how the fuck does that work? Like, how could, and here's the thing, how could you not get 1? Or even 1 that wants to fight and listen to evidence and read through stuff? I mean, how do you have, well, you don't have fucking 1. You don't have that. Now, analyzing with you, having a sergeant who works in the post office is probably the worst person. The big tall black guy who has the 5, not good and like following him around. He's a leader, and he works in the post office. I know routes. The probability of you taking that route makes me think that we have a big problem here. Like, who knows route neighborhood better than the postman?
Yeah. Nobody.
And how many different routes? You're going to just drive to trust that lane. Same time your husband's getting shot. Like, and after that, it's like, who's the team? Well, actually, you talk to your brother that morning for 18 minutes. Like,
I didn't know there was
okay. What did you say, Mom?
They said, you said, I talked to my brother for 18 minutes. I mean, they made up stories about this one talks to this one talks to that one. Yeah, it's a family. They do that.
Mom called to say the appointment was made. Okay. And I called Wendy because I was outside with Katie. And I called my mom. Katie. Like, girlfriends and all. Here's the thing. I only talk to Wendy like every 10 days, 2 weeks. The only reason I spoke to her was because I was in a fight with Katie. What I should do. So I called my sister. First thing I got on the phone, I called her. I thought I don't think I called her. Nobody don't call her. So that's say that. Just a little thing. Stand out, and then you have stupidity, absolute asinine stupidity, right? And then I'm talking about theories of landmines. And here we have the landline conversation again. Like 1997, I had that number called 1976. Same numbers on my cell phone. So I'm obviously not trying to hide anything. Like, the only time I pulled case I didn't want to, I wanted to have privacy was when I was on the phone with Eric, and I'm like, let me call you from your cell phone, I'll call you from my landline. At that time, and that's because I didn't know what Eric was just saying. Katie was overly cautious after Mike told me don't talk anything about Katie. Or talking about Katie. I was like, no, Mike told me that the phone's fast. Let me be cautious. This is what Eric was going to say. That was it. That was the one time. And I told them. But they have a pie chart. The first attempt, the second attempt, and I called 7530536. Just a little odd, but you're only there for 60, 70 days all year.
The whole year.
I have 2 years. So I said that to Dan. They said, you don't even want to be that point. Just show them that it's not this. But I don't know. I mean, they made a demonstrative out of it. If it's in a big pie, with the tiniest sliver being the 24 columns out of the 3,500 columns that would be. Like, it's significant. It is statistically significant because I never call that up. But I don't think call it if I knew you were home. Otherwise, I'd always call yourself. Like, I must have known you were home, so I called it on your line. It's always a better connection. But I'm calling from my cell phone. But you know what? They brought that up in opening, and they brought that up in closing. That was part of the closing. But you know what they were doing? They were taking all the things that they could say are statistically significant and go, look at how many statistically significant things that are occurring. And there comes a point that you try to either start adding them all up and you're going, hey, the 2 times he called, or the 2 times he's got it went up all year, and 2 times he's calling his parents' phone number. That's significant. Like, what's the chances of Wendy showing up? The chances of the TV being mentioned in 3 different ways? Significant. Like, we got a number of things that keep coming up that are like, that are significant because they're involving age time explanations. Fucking coincidences, that's why you can't explain, like, why I bought a TV because you didn't have a fucking TV. You said TV because the guy asked for 5. If he asked for 50,000, I guarantee you that this car costs about 50.
I would have.
No, how do you talk?
It made sense to say something that costs about that amount of money.
Back in that time, the TV was a couple thousand, 3, 4, 5. Lost the bridge 15 years ago. It was 3, 4, 5. If he said the TV was 5, I would be like, are you talking $500? The TVs are 500. So if they asked for 50 grand, they would have said this car is about 50. I would have known the car costs about 50. TV would cost about 5. It wouldn't be $5. 15 years ago, it said it would be about 500. Well, real likely it would be thousands. So, like, is it statistically significant? The code word being brought up? I mean, it's odd as fuck that I had me buy that for Wendy for her divorce card. God. 2012. You know what I paid for that TV set?
I account?
$2,000. Every month it was maybe $2,200.
Really? Maybe it's a couple of thousand. I just didn't much.
I was just in the car, and we were saying, what does she need? And she wants, she needs a nice TV set. They go get her a really nice TV set. I'll pay for it. And, $2,200. Just add more money than time. No time. I never spend anywhere around miles. Thank you. I was, when I was in Juco, she wanted to take me to Japan to meet the family and do a lot of stuff. She wanted to fly first class, and I was put off by the idea. Kind of annoyed that she should go and fly first class. I've never flown first class in my life. We go home first class. We looked up how many airline miles it was going to cost me for a round trip ticket. It was like 326,000 airline miles. And I've been saving those miles forever. So, I mean, it was going to cost me like 700,000 airline miles to fly to Japan, back and forth, first class or business class, something like that. And I was so pissed that she wanted to fly first class like that. And then that was also going to be like a good solid 2 weeks off work.
Yeah. Didn't want to do it. I know.
Jesus Christ, if I had a fucking time machine, holy shit.
So, by the way, just in case you get forced with students, so I don't want you to, it might go off this one. I don't know.
It definitely will.
It will, I know. But,
yeah. So you got 13 minutes?
Yeah.
So I was very put off by the idea of getting 700,000 sky miles, and I was very put off by the thought of missing 2.5 weeks of work. And I would have gone to Japan with a beautiful girl who loved me and wanted to have a family and have a life and flew first class. Instead, I fucking work like a little dog and make more money for fucking what? For fucking what? I got, 2.5 million airline miles now?
I don't know what you have, but I know it's a lot.
Yeah. You got about 2.5 million airline miles. Maybe more. Fucking what? Fucking what? 2.5 million airline miles. Don't want to take 2 weeks off of work. I've been sitting in jail rotting for almost 19 months. I'm very rotting away. 19 months, I look like that. First time this mirrored glass makes me like, I can actually see what I look like as I'm looking off of like a chrome plate. Like, I definitely know what to say. There's just, I mean, it's like, it just bothered me, like, it, honestly, like, you couldn't have a bigger change in life. Like, being 36 years old, the girl wanted me to move to continue with her family, fly first class to Japan, meet her family that's super successful. She wanted to get a home. We got a home right there, kids, get a dog, have kids, to the shit. You couldn't have a bigger change, could you? You couldn't, I mean, like, if you realize what I've experienced in life, like where I was, what I built up, where I got to in life on my own, what my life was like, hanging out with friends who liked me and were successful and good times and opportunities and building, working, doing nothing but working. I don't know. I don't want to go to Japan with Junko. I'm taking 2.5 weeks off of work. I'm using all these airline miles up.
Yeah.
That was 36. That was a 36. 35, 36. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, all my friends are struggling trying to figure out their businesses. I'm sitting at the continuum with Juco out of Tequilas and talking about our future. And that was reality. That was pinnacle. You can't get higher than that. Beautiful girl. She had money. You know, I was successful. Both good looking. Nothing but like opportunities galore.
I always wish we had a time machine. You say that.
But you got to understand, Mom, that's what my life was.
I know what your life was.
Like it's not like oh, I was hoping to do this. I mean, I was there. Like I was there. I made it. Like I fucking made it, and I made it on my own. Like I didn't make it by screwing people over. I made it on my own. Nobody was helping me. Nobody was doing shit for me. You know, if I asked my sister for something, it was to fucking translate something into Spanish. That was the big ask. Like, I wasn't... Oh, yeah. You know, good, man. Hey, if you could get that... Yeah.
Charlie?
Charlie?
Hello?
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man. All right, buddy. I guess they're, it's like it's a good idea when I see them do it. You got to try something. I get it to be recorded on the news. After watching the other pod, then I put it in for for something that happened at the trial, whatever Dan filed yesterday.
He filed a motion.
Yeah, because he filed a motion yesterday. I woke up at 6:30 in the morning and they were talking about it on the radio. And then the pod next door, they're seeing it. Well, who knows? The jurors said they exchanged numbers and it may be something in the chat, like, you know, it's just a prayer. It's just a prayer.
That's right.
It's sending up a prayer. I just feel like there's so many thoughts in the way people act. Like, I mean, it kills me in that I know where I was, like, what my life looked like, what my fucking opportunities look like. And it's like I've been tough for the last year and a half.
I know you're
It's really been like I can make it through this. Like, listen, I've never been to jail before. I've been in jail for 19 months now. You know, but like I knew this was gonna be, you know, I knew this was gonna be bullshit before I even got up here. Like I knew it in my bones, and I fucking expressed it many times. I mean, let me ask you this: Did I ever say anything other than what it was going to be when I got up here?
No, I know you did. I know you did.
You know, and I'm like, and I still want to work. I still try to like create some semblance of a life. But I saw my life change. And I saw the people in my life change. I saw the opportunities in my life disappear. I saw what I was to people and they just trying to use me. And I saw the level of girls that I used to get and then did get. And it's just like the quality of everything just went down the fucking toilet. The quality of the people, the quality of the opportunity, the quality of of everything that I was around me. And hold on a second. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Catch you tomorrow, hopefully. I just literally saw this disappear before my eyes. And I still stayed and bought into the bullshit that I was fed. I had spent a fortune, fucking absolute fortune, embracing the bullshit. And brought in the absolute fucking best, given the best shot in the whole world. And the shot in the whole world we're going to have. I was as sharp as I'm ever going to be in that room. I was prepared as I'm ever going to be. And to the fucking year of his life, nothing that came in his hand. He had a cake, he had Dubin, he had everybody, guns are blazing.
Yeah.
Not one. You know what not one tells me? You have a fucking chance at it. Not a chance at all. But that level of everything, to not get one, that was it. Thanks, guys. That's what it tells me. Not fucking one. Not anyone really putting time in there back then. I knew that's what I was up against.
Charlie, it's just give you a heads up. 27. If we get cut off, you call us back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep going on. I feel better when I talk to you.
Good. Fine.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah. Thank you. I love you, and there's a you're not getting a lot of encouragement with this guy not showing at 4:30. I'm really annoyed.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be here today. Tomorrow. You can call Dan and let him know that. Yeah, we're not trouble.
Okay, I'll tell him.
I just, Mom, what just killed me is I fucking knew what Tallahassee was to be about in this whole experience before I got up there. So it's I knew what it could be. I knew what it was going to be. I bought into the bullshit it wasn't going to be. But it clearly is what I thought it was, in that you can't get one fucking juror. Not one. Because the strength that I had to use up on people that were the 911 operators and that was on the lieutenant on the fire on the police department. The lady whose boyfriend's a sheriff's officer in town. It wasn't real strikes. It was people you had to get rid of. Couldn't keep one good one for me. The jury is fucking tears. There's not one person on there that was. The alternate was here. That's why they made him the alternate. Yeah, he said he would have quit it. We'd have a hung jury. We'd be going to trial and 6 days down. Right. Yeah. This was fucking exactly what I thought I was thinking. Listen, I'm not going to give up hope. I'm going to stay in there.
Please don't, because we'll fight. As long as I know you're hanging in there, we will fight for you, Charlotte. You know that.
Yeah, no, I will. I know you guys are going to take care of stuff when you're on the outside.
Charlie?
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
I know. I feel the time. time. That's why Dad's saying.
I love you guys. All right, Dan, I love you. I'll call you guys after 6:30, okay?
That's great.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, tell Dan, can you tell
Tell Dan what I just texted him. Charlie, oh, I could cut it. I knew that was going to happen.
That's why.
Yeah. I knew that was going to happen. I kept telling him.